You are watching the movie Mirror. The story begins on a dark night. In the silent atmosphere, a strange object suddenly falls from the sky, emitting light, and hits the ground with a loud bang, causing a cloud of smoke to rise. A hunter named Wolf, standing nearby, is astonished by this sight. His pet dog begins barking loudly. A crater has formed where the strange object fell. The dog goes inside to investigate and hears the sound of an animal. A few minutes later, the dog flees in fear. Hearing a loud roar, Wolf rushes toward the crater, gun in hand. From here, the scene shifts to the next day, to a girl named Renee, who is burning her dead pet lizard on a grill and is deeply saddened by her love for animals. Renee also had a pet snake, so she asks her mother, Linda, to accompany her to get food for the snake. But Linda, who wasn't feeling well, doesn't respond. Meanwhile, Linda's boyfriend, Chase, comes to Renee's house and starts disturbing her. Renee didn't like Chase one bit. So, in anger, she leaves for school early, scratching Chase's car parked outside before leaving. Renee doesn't talk to anyone at school because she doesn't have any friends other than Gil. So, during lunch, Renee goes to meet Gil, who, like Renee, is very attached to animals. But Renee doesn't talk much to him either. After school, Linda arrives very late to pick Renee up. Renee gets angry and asks, "Why are you late and not going to work today?" Linda is very upset because she had a fight with Chase. Seeing this, Renee advises Linda to leave him alone, but Linda refuses. After coming home, Renee spends some time with the snake. When he doesn't eat, she tries unsuccessfully to cheer him up by playing the banjo. At dinner time, Chase scolds Renee after noticing a scratch on his car, but Linda calms him down. Chase then asks about the strange smell coming from the microwave. Renee explains that she heated a dead rat for her snake. Hearing this, Chase angrily throws chips in Renee's face. Angered, Renee rushes outside and, hearing the sounds of fighting coming from inside, takes her ATV and drives off. After walking a short distance, Renee stops near the same crater that was created by the object that fell from the sky. As she sits there, silent and dejected, she hears a strange noise. She takes a flashlight from her car to investigate. As she steps toward the crater, a terrifying creature appears before her. Seeing it, Renee turns to stone and lies on the ground, trying to escape. The creature desperately tries to make her its prey. However, being chained, it is unable to harm Renee. After struggling for a long time, it gives up and sits quietly. Sensing the peace in the atmosphere, Renee quickly gets up and goes to the ATV. But when she sees the creature writhing in pain, animal lover Renee musters the courage to approach and unchain him. The creature lets out a terrifying growl. Renee escapes in a vehicle, and when she sees the scene inside the house, everything between Chase and Linda has been resolved. Seeing Linda close to Chase again, Renee sits angrily on the swing outside. The next morning, while leaving for school, she sees several helicopters flying in the sky. Seeing them, Renee quickly realizes that the search operation is probably for the creature. Thinking this, Renee goes to school and asks Gil for his camera. Gil tells her that the camera isn't his, but his mother's. But Renee convinces him to give her the camera for a day and promises to do Gil's English homework in return. Gil finds this deal quite appealing. When Renee arrives home after school, Chase and Linda are overjoyed. Chase leaves, promising to treat both mother and daughter well. But Renee, angry at Linda, says, "She didn't even apologize to me for last night." Angered, Renee goes to her room and makes a list of all the things she wants to take to the creature. She then posts a no disturb note on her door, grabs the car keys from Linda's room, takes a gun from her car, and approaches the creature. Using binoculars, she spots the creature sitting in the hole, fires in the air to attract it. Then, turning on the camera, she begins filming and cuts the creature's net to capture it. But despite all this, the creature doesn't move at all. Seeing this, Renee, thinking it dead, tries to retreat, but the creature gets up and climbs on her, drenching her entire mouth with its saliva. Instead of saying anything to her, she retreats. Renee offers the creature an apple to try to get along with it, but it doesn't take it. Just then, Renee spots a helicopter flying overhead. Renee explains to the creature that this is a government search operation that could harm him. After convincing the creature, Renee returns home that night. She comes, but after a while, she remembers the revolver she left near the pit. As Renee leaves the house to retrieve it, she sees the creature, who had followed her home. When the creature doesn't leave despite Renee's shouts, she takes him to the pit. But suddenly, the creature vanishes into the darkness. Renee calls out to him, but he doesn't come. He suddenly appears behind her, connecting her with his golden light and forming a strong bond. From then on, they develop a strong friendship. Instead of abandoning him in the open, Renee takes him to her house and provides him with a secret, hidden location in the basement. A search team, led by Jonathan, is shown near the pit, searching for the object that fell from the sky. Renee wanted to take creature inside, so she called Linda and asked her if she was at work or at home. Hearing this, Linda assumed Renee was at school when he said he was at work. As soon as Chius left the house, Renee immediately brought creature into her room and began feeding him meat. But he wouldn't eat. Seeing this, Renee introduced him to her pet animal, and as creature moved to eat the snake, Renee immediately stopped him, as it, like Renee, was a friend. Renee named creature Jirik and began playing the guitar to make him feel better. But Jirik began shivering violently. Seeing this, Renee understood that he was deeply frightened by some danger. So she assured him, in the language of love, that she would always protect him. Linda returns shortly afterward, and as soon as the doorbell rings, Renee, who was watching TV, panics and quickly rushes out of the house with Gyro. Linda, seeing the mess in the house, feels extremely stressed. Meanwhile, Renee takes the gang and goes down to the basement. Meanwhile, Gil arrives at her house to borrow his camera. Linda places it in Renee's room, and Gil begins looking at a photo of Renee and her father. Unaware of this, Renee returns to her room after making water for the gang. She is surprised to see the camera in Gil's hand and quickly locks the door. Meanwhile, Gil removes the tape, hides it in his pocket, and asks her the truth about the creature. Renee lies, saying that he found it in the desert, but suddenly ran away, leaving only the video. When Renee checks the camera, she asks Gil for the tape back, and the two begin to fight over it. Hearing their voices, Linda senses something is wrong and leaves, telling him to leave the door open. Gil threatens Renee with the police if she doesn't tell him the truth, and with no other option, Renee takes him to the basement to see the creature. Seeing Gil, the gang pounces on him, but Renee silences them, and seeing the creature so close to him, Gil faints on the spot. When he wakes up after a while, Renee tells him to calm down and plays the banjo to induce Gyro's friendly behavior, and Gyro calms down. Seeing Gyro's calm behavior, Gil emerges from the basement and gives the tape back to Renee. Unaware of their actions, Agent Brown is watching them. Even in the evening, Renee visits Giro and plays the banjo for him. She feeds him, but Giro refuses to eat. The next day, Renee shares this problem with Gil. Gil tells her he'd rather hunt and eat. Hearing this, Renee takes Giro to a deserted area in the dark. Seeing the pigs, Giro becomes uncontrollable and immediately pounces on them, much to Renee's delight. After eating his fill, Giro brings a piece of meat for Renee as well. Pleased with Gil's plan, Renee moves forward to hug Gil in thanks when Jirik roars loudly, as if he doesn't like Renee's closeness to anyone else. Renee then takes Giro home, locks him in the basement, and goes to her room. But Chase grabs her by the hair, pushes her onto the couch, and demands she give him back the gun. Seeing Chase's anger, Renee tells him he has the gun. Chase's anger intensifies, and he decides to teach her a lesson. In self-defense, Renee bites his hand, and Chase pushes her away. Feeling Renee's pain, Gyro becomes enraged. Just then, Linda comes to push Chase away and saves Renee. Gyro, in a fit of rage, begins banging the wall, causing the entire house to shake. When everything calms down, Linda, mistaking it for an earthquake, angrily throws Chase out of the house. She then tries to reason with Renee, but Renee is furious at Linda for choosing a man like Chase as her father. Angered, Renee runs to Gyro and, after telling him to calm down, sleeps with him. The next morning, as Renee is leaving for school, Jonathan shows her his card and says, "I found a gun near a ditch, registered in Chase's name, but the fingerprints are Renee's." Hearing this, Renee panics and says, "She went to the desert to practice." Jonathan forcibly forces her into the car and explains that if she hides the truth, the consequences will be dire. Threatening her, Jonathan gives her his contact card and leaves. Meanwhile, at home, Linda is worried about the tap water. Seeing the trouble, she immediately calls the plumber, explains the situation to him, and then leaves for the office. As soon as the plumber goes into the basement, he sees Jirik and is horrified. Jirik attacks him in self-defense. He brutally bites him, leaving him bleeding, but the plumber somehow manages to escape with the help of his car. Due to the pain and fear, he loses his focus on driving and nearly crashes into another car. But he ignores Renee, who is passing by, and continues on, only to be suddenly interrupted by Linda, who arrives and takes him home in her car. There, the mother-daughter couple has a brief argument over the chase, and Linda also tells him about the plumber. Hearing this, Renee quickly goes down to the basement and finds Gyro, injured and covered in blood. Seeing Gyro's attack, Renee decides to keep him away from home. Meanwhile, Agent Brown approaches Gil and threatens him, saying that if he doesn't tell the truth about Creature, his immigrant relatives will be deported. But Gil still refuses to open his mouth that night. Renee takes Creature into the desert, where Gil is waiting for her. Renee shares her problem with him, saying, "I'll put him in Chase's car and leave him in a reserve area." Although Gil dissuades her, Renee refuses after locking Gyro in a box. She returns home, writes a note for her mother, and packs all her travel gear and gets into the car. But then Chase approaches her, drags her inside the house, and holds both mother and daughter at gunpoint. Meanwhile, in the desert, the search team reaches Gyro's box. But they don't find Gyro inside because he was going to Renee. Linda, beaten by Chase at home, tells Renee to run away. But as Renee tries to escape, Chase overpowers her and is about to kill her at gunpoint. Just then, Gyro arrives and attacks Chase, killing him. Derry, seeing Renee, runs away. Just then, Gil arrives and tells Renee that he has informed the agents about Gyro. Just then, Jonathan, along with his team, surrounds the house and ties Renee to a chair. Jonathan, knowing that the Creature has a deep connection with Renee, breaks Renee's finger. The Creature, feeling Renee's pain, runs to Renee and falls into Jonathan's trap. After this, Jonathan knocks Renee unconscious, and Linda takes Renee and the Creatures to the lab. When Renee regains consciousness, Jonathan explains to her that she is not a normal creature but a dangerous alien, far more advanced than humans. She may have been sent to Earth to spy on the aliens, hoping to invade and take over Earth in the future. Jonathan threatens Renee, saying, "If you don't join us, we'll send Linda to an asylum." A short while later, Linda brings Renee a letter and tells her how much she loves her. Renee breaks her finger to attract Gyro's attention, and seeing Renee scream, Jonathan goes to silence her. But by then, Jurong had awakened and began killing everyone one by one, and the entire hall resounded with dark, flashing lights and sirens. Jurong was about to attack Jonathan and Brown, when Renee stopped him and took him away. Just then, Jane then emerged and began firing at them. Jurong, hiding behind a car, quickly approached Jonathan and killed him, falling to the ground, covered in bullets. Renee wept profusely at the thought of losing Jurong, and after a while, everything seemed to return to normal. Meanwhile, Jurong was still being experimented on in the lab, when suddenly his eyes opened, and the movie ended.